Are you inventorying the car? You searching the car? Are you inventorying the car? You searching the car? If you inventory, why you don't have anything written down? You writing down what you?
I don't see anything about it.
Okay. I think you're on a fishing expedition. Don't worry about it.
Hey man, every time we come around, man, it's just so clear.
I think as a matter of importance, the officer who has stopped me for a traffic violation and claims that it's his responsibility to tow the car because I was accused of driving while revoked license. Now the owner of the car, who was also happened to be present at the time the car was being inventoried. Now I find it rather senseless to have a car towed other than the fact that they're on an expedition to search the car, and the only way to justify that is to maintain that my license was revoked. But I fail to see how that would have anything to do with the car being returned to the owner. So exactly what is that gain by towing this car? I have yet to understand that. Maybe someone viewing this video may be able to help me understand that. But why the officer would insist on towing the car and the owner to the vehicle is yet present. But the only way that he can gain consent to search the vehicle is to claim that because of my license, claim that my license revoked gives him the right to search this vehicle. Now, I find it necessary to record these officers, and I encourage anybody who has contact with the Dothan Police Department to record them the same, because they've proven to be less than honest and less than trustworthy. We've seen too many incidences in which they have abused their power as police officers. And this, I think, is a prime example of abuse of authority. Now, if in fact my license were revoked, then if that's the case, and I've been given a ticket for that, something I had to answer to in court. But exactly what they had to do with the vehicle itself, the vehicle has committed no crime. Could this be a way of giving the tow truck company some business? Or simply put, could this be a way of authorizing him to do an otherwise illegal search of the vehicle without the owner's consent? It's more likely the latter. As this video and many others will be uploaded to Facebook and YouTube for informational and instruction purposes. This is how we must deal with police officers who are overzealous in pursuing people, especially in the inner city of Dothan, Alabama. Now, I find it hard to believe that he would be over in the neighborhood of Chapelwood or Bocage, anywhere in that neighborhood, doing the same type of activity. He rides by and says he notices me from previous experience and notices that I don't have a driver's license. But would he go out in Brentwood, Chapelwood, or Bocage and spot people who he claimed that he knows that doesn't have a license? How does he know I doesn't have a license? I've never been ticketed by this officer. How does he really know that? Or is it a case of racial profiling? I say race because 98% of the people on this side of the town, from West Powell and Oak Street on back, would be primarily of the African American descent. So I would call it simply for what it is. He's in the black neighborhood scouring the streets, hoping to find anybody he can stop and use as a bogus justification that their license is suspended or otherwise revoked. But until he actually stops a vehicle and ascertains that information by his dispatcher, how does he know that? So how does he know to make that stop? Because he's already predisposed based on his training and the type of tactics employed by the Dothan Police Department. That's how he knows. He knows that any black man driving a car that he wants to stop him, he can find numerous bogus reasons to do so. But rather than be intimidated with him, they'd rather see a black man with a gun than see him with a camera. This is what they don't want to see. Have you ever written me a ticket before since you made contact with me? If you want to be a part of this video, you can step right up. I encourage you to speak into the camera.
I've written you a revoked ticket before.
You have?
Yes, I have.
Okay, do you recall when that was?
Remember when you got stopped over on Main Street for domestic violence?
Oh, really?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Remember that?
So do you know whether or not they've been restored since then? How would you know that? You wouldn't know that.
What's that?
You wouldn't know whether or not they were restored since that time or not, would you?
I checked.
Oh, really? Before you stopped me, you checked that?
I did.
Okay, so if you stopped before you checked that, you wouldn't have asked me my name. If you've already checked that, you would have had to have some information to check that.
Your name. When I walked up to you, I said, how you doing, Mr. Central?
Okay, well, why would you ask me my name, my date of birth, and social if you were able to check it without it?
Your social, not your name.
Okay. So how would you be able to check it without having all those vitals? I'm not the only Kevin South in the United States. So something about your story don't ring true. And that's why you're being filmed, because you're less than trustworthy.
No, I promise you,
Excuse me. Do not intervene in this conversation, please. Please do not intervene in the conversation, please. I'm asking you nicely. They can't be trusted, and the less you say to them, the better off you are. You're the owner of the vehicle, and if he don't have the courtesy to return your vehicle back to you, and you sitting here with the paperwork to prove it's yours, you should have nothing to say to him. Because his intent is ill from the beginning. He hasn't found anything illegal in that vehicle. He hasn't spotted me doing anything illegal. But this is a matter of spite. So let it be seen for what it is. Don't try to give dignity to his behavior.
to drive on a public roadway.
Okay. And it's senseless also and nonsense to tow a car when the owner is right there present.
Look, state
You-
law says,
You don't have to tell me what the state law says about it.
all right, if you want to listen to me, I'll explain it to you.
Okay, go ahead and explain it.
Traffic law says if you're driving a vehicle revoked and you're not the owner of the vehicle, and the owner of the vehicle is not inside the vehicle when you're stopped, then
Okay.
that car shall be towed according to state law.
Okay. Excuse me. Do not intervene in this conversation.
Yeah, you're right. If the license is suspended, we do.
You don't know whether it's suspended or revoked. You don't know they're suspended or revoked.
Really?
You don't know that.
How do we not know that?
You don't know that because you don't know that.
All right.
I know you don't know that because they're not revoked.
Okay.
Okay, can you go up the windows and everything? Okay. I'm on my way.
Have you heard it yourself, viewer? It is absolutely impossible to determine whether or not those licenses are revoked or suspended. That is a very small distinction between the two. He claims that he has learned from his dispatcher that my license was revoked. And I'm here to say that they are not revoked. But this is the distinction he's using. If they were suspended, the car would not be towed. The fact that he claims they are revoked, then it shall be towed. This is what he is claiming. And my claim is simply that he wants to find a reason to search that vehicle, and that was the only pretense in which he could use. But I wonder what happens when they discover that they are not revoked. I wonder what happens then. And for those who believe or once believed that the police have the right to tell you to put your camera up, do not film them, that's another bogus lie. Couldn't be further from the truth. You have a right under the First Amendment to express yourself. Do not, as long as you do not enter into their workspace or interfere with a government operation, you have every right to film them. And even when they attempt to take your camera, you want them on film taking your camera, because this is your personal property. And there's nothing legally he can do about that. Now, will they be bold and take it from you? Probably so. That's just how much they cannot be trusted. They're supposed to be the servants of the public. They don't rule over the public. They're supposed to be servants of the public. And you and I as taxpayers, every time we pay a light bill, every time we pay a fine, every time we take any money to the city government, it pays their salary, so they work for us, the people. And this is why I have absolutely no problem telling them what I think about them, but in respectful terms. I understand my rights, and I encourage everybody else to start learning what you can do to protect yourself from overzealous police officers who simply abuse their authority because they can. Now, if you notice, these guys approximately between the ages of 22 and 26, and probably were in diapers when I started driving the car. And I say that to say this, not to make light of the force, because some officers are truly out to do their job and to protect and serve us from those who might cause us harm. But these officers, for instance, don't recognize the crime in process, but simply wants to find a way to harass and abuse their authority for those who they don't like. Those, especially those who oppose their policy. And for the moment, this is the conclusion of this film. I look forward to other videos, and I encourage you all to do the same. Thank you for paying attention.